Good day, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The second girl rescued by the Nigerian military is not one of the 200 students abducted by Boko Haram members in the Nigerian town of Chibok. Now that's according to the Bring Back Our Girls group. Spokesperson of the group Seisu Akume on Friday in a statement said, although the girl identified as Sarah Luka was a student at the Government Girls College Chibok, she was not among those abducted by Boko Haram on April 14, 2014. The campaign group said Sarah was abducted by the insurgents at her home in Madagali, northeast Nigeria. Army spokesperson Colonel Sani Usman had in a statement released on Thursday said Sarah is number 157 on the list of 280 missing Chibok schoolgirls. However, a Chibok community leader, Pogu Bitros, told the Associated Press that number 157 on the list had a different name. Since her release, there have been doubts over the identity of Sarah Luka. She was rescued 2 days after the first Chibok girl, Amina Ali Nkek. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari has met with Amina Ali Nkek, the first Chibok girl rescued by security operatives in Sambisa Forest. At the meeting on Thursday in Abuja, President Buhari promised that the federal government will be responsible for the education and upkeep of Amina Ali for the rest of her life. He said that every girl has the right to education and should not be denied access to such. Amina was accompanied by her mother, security chiefs, and the governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima. The 19-year-old had been found on Tuesday night with a baby by the Civilian Joint Task Force at the fringes of Sambisa Forest in northeast Nigeria. The army also detained a suspected Boko Haram terrorist called Mohammed Hayatu, who claimed to be the husband of the girl. After her release, Amina said all the Chibok girls are still in Sambisa Forest, except for 6 of them who have died already. Over 276 girls were taken from their school in northeast Nigeria by Boko Haram militants in April 2000. Now, the indefinite strike embarked upon by the Nigerian Labour Congress has entered the 3rd day. The union called for the strike action to protest the federal government's decision to hike the price of fuel. Fuel, which used to sell for 86 naira per litre, now sells for 145 naira per litre. The Labour Union has urged workers in Nigeria to down tools after a meeting with the federal government collapsed midway. Since the strike commenced, it hasn't been as effective as most people thought it would. Like businesses across the country have continued to open, while workers in some states go to work in defiance of the call by the NLC. However, NLC President Ayuba Waba says with time the strike will become more effective.
Essentially, strike picks up from the first day and it continues. As I'm talking to today, ASU and SANU are joining. Maybe also you need to take it from state to state, from sector to sector. I can tell you clearly that it's effective and our members are participating. But the issue goes even beyond the number. The issue is about standing with the people, even if you are standing alone. Bringing up the issues so that on the part of history, it will be reckoned that of a truth, you stand on what is truth. So essentially, that is the essence. And we are convinced that we have been able to communicate that. So that is the essence. The message has been well communicated, where people try to see reason that this policy, if it is going to be based on 2 variables, first, the exchange rate, which is not essentially under our control, and 2, the price of crude oil. Should the price of crude oil going up be a blessing to all of us as Nigerians that God has deposited this product on us, or should it be a curse? And therefore, if you look at this policy, it's invariably going to be a curse, because the more the cost of crude oil goes up, if it goes to $120 per barrel, you are sure also that the costs domestically with this template is going to triple. So this is the whole argument. And how can we continue to go along this cycle? You remember the case of SAP. The position of NSC, despite the fact that we are in the minority, is today being referred to as a position that has been genuine and a position that our people and Nigerians ought to have embraced, because it's the same scenario. When IMF came during Babangida, they said, let us devalue our currency. Let us also remove subsidy. And you remember, it is the beginning of where we are today. I agree, the issue of subsidy is shredded by a lot of corrupt practices. And we said, yes, let us address that issue of corruption, but instead of shifting the body entirely to the consumers, let us also try to work and see how those refineries work. With this situation in place, it's not likely that the refineries can be able to work, because of the obvious fact that when you import, you make quicker money than actually refining. And therefore, going by that, the continuous sabotage of blowing up pipes, of making refineries not work, because there are people that are permanently on the payroll of those that are interested in this issue of importation. And therefore, except government address the inherent corruption in the system, even our very long-term objective of making the refineries to work may not be able to be achieved because of the fact that there is still, the vandalism is being sponsored. And we have this as a reason that we think, let us look at this perspective and not just embrace this one traffic option of saying that these two variables will continue to guide the price. Because once you rely on this, over-rely on this, the tendency is that there will be exploitation, and it has taken effect. Okay, from the high cost of goods and services, we have seen that. We are open to dialogue. We have said, even in war situations, you always resolve issues on the round table. It's always about issue of facts and also issues of addressing our apprehension and that of the larger Nigerian society, and also putting those issues into context. We want timelines. If, for instance, we said, well, Nigerians will have to suffer, and it will take them 6 months to go through this process and suffer. But after these 6 months, we are going to enjoy. We are ready to look at this type of understanding. But not to say there is no time bar for such a policy to actually begin to go downward so that Nigerians can benefit. So those are some of the issues we can bring to the table.
In Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, the Nigerian Labour Congress took their protest to the Lagos State Government House in Alausa, Ikeja. The protesters hassled government workers who refused to participate in the ongoing strike action. They also say they won't back down from the strike until their demands are met. One of their demands is the reversal of fuel price from 145 naira per litre back to 85 naira per litre. The Nigerian government has urged all workers to respect the rule of law and desist from participating in the NLC strike, describing it as illegal.
Whatever you enjoy as workers is the struggle of the union. Yes. So if you want to take our resolve, stay there like slaves. But we can assure you, nobody lives here. Yes. Greater Nigerian comrades. Affiliates that are here, please call up your members. Everybody move to Alausa. We are going to occupy here. When you are hungry, we'll give you food.
We just have to do what we are doing because essentially it was expected of all workers to comply. And necessary directive was given to these workers only for the government himself to coerce them with some intimidation and I don't want to use the word bribery, but they know what they did overnight to allow the workers in with intimidation. It's unaccepted. This is a struggle that should be fought by the workers, fighting for those that have no hope for work, so that they know that when they gain this job, they will actually be called the working class. So what we are doing is not a matter that I cannot afford fuel. It's a matter of who speaks for the women in the market, who speaks for the mass, those men on the road. So the question is, what we are doing is not a selfish struggle. Whether you are seeing somebody selling, because I saw some media houses, they were videoing market yesterday. NSC does not operate in marketplace. This Nigerian Labour Congress affiliate of workers. And when workers goes on strike, strike is to determine other actions. And when we're on strike, this is the second day. Yesterday we told you we actually went round to sensitize the people. Today the strike continue. And we are adding this protest and rally to actually inform the public that there is a reason we are also going on this strike. But essentially, we are withdrawing our service. Duly, we are doing so because the government did not consult before going on with this ungodly policy. So we are doing what we are doing, and occupying here, we should do so to actually educate the workers who they are suffering from whatever be their age problem. But what we know is until they realize this, we continue to occupy this place until they realize that they are part of the struggle.
There's been a system of intimidation of the Nigerian workers by the government, whether at the state level or at the federal level. And that is what we are seeing manifest here today. So there is no way workers will not want to join with any action that they perceive as positive, any action that they see as leading towards their liberation. You understand? Any action that they see that will lead to a better welfare, better living condition to themselves. No, the fact that they are there and they have not come out is because they have been intimidated. And we are here to solidarize with them, to tell them that we are with them, not just in body, but we are with them also in spirit. You know, there's no skepticism about the rising cost of things in this country. There's no extra knowledge that you need to know that all is not well in this country and that people are barely surviving in Nigeria. So when you impose extra hardship on the Nigerian people, it is going to tell really on the worker and every other person.
National leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has appealed to the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress to call off the ongoing strike over the hike in fuel pump price. The former governor of Lagos State, in a meeting held on Friday, pleaded with the president of the NLC, Ayuba Waba, and other leaders of the Congress to dialogue with the federal government to resolve the current industrial dispute over the hike in fuel price. Tinubu was in company of Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola and some top officials of the party. Earlier, he had urged Nigerians not to lament over the removal of fuel subsidies, saying the Buhari-led administration has made provisions to cushion the impact of the fuel price hike. A federal high court sitting in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, has sentenced a former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration Safety Agency, Raymond Omasheye, to 5 years in prison. Omasheye was jailed for his involvement in a 1.5 billion contract scam. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission accused the former NIMASA boss of engaging in contract splitting and bid rigging estimated at over 1.5 billion naira during his time in office. Omasheye was also charged with money laundering. Lekon Shonde, the man accused of killing his wife after a dispute in their home in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, has been charged to court for murder. He was arraigned on Friday at the Chief Magistrate Court in Ebute Metta. Shonde was arrested on May 9th after he reportedly fled his home in Egbeda following the death of his wife, Ronke Shonde. Following his arraignment, the court has now ordered Shonde be remanded in prison for 30 days. An autopsy by the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital declared that Ronke Shonde had died of respiratory seizure and bruises on her head. She was buried on Friday. Unknown gunmen have killed the Senior Special Assistant on Security to Governor of Benue State, Denen Igbana. According to witnesses, the gunmen stormed his house at about 2 a.m. Friday morning and shot him point blank. He was rushed to the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, where he was eventually confirmed dead. The reason for his killing remains unknown. Meanwhile, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has directed security operatives to fish out the perpetrators of the attack. Spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Meto, has applied to a federal high court in Abuja for the release of his passport to enable him travel to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Justice Okona Bank had ordered Meto to deposit his passport with the court's registrar as part of his conditions attached to the bill granted him on January 19, 2016. In his application, Meto said a neurosurgeon at the National Hospital in Abuja, the nation's capital, had advised him to seek treatment abroad following the injury he allegedly sustained after falling from a chair. Justice Abank has reluctantly adjourned his trial till May 23rd after his lawyer said he was ill. Meto is being prosecuted for an alleged fraud of 400 million naira. Mohammed Babandede has been appointed Interim Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service. He was appointed shortly after former immigration boss Martin Abeshi retired from service. President Muhammad Buhari had on Wednesday asked Abeshi to immediately vacate his office. According to the president, the immigration boss had exhausted his tenure in office. Until Babandede's appointment, he was in charge of the operations and passport directorate of the Nigerian Immigration Service. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at business and international stories. Stay tuned.
Comedy time once again. Chapel of Comedy with Nehi, featuring Igor, Elenu, MC Abe, MC Shakara, Emeka Smith, Bash, and many more.
Music by Tim Godfrey. Special guest appearance from Motolai Kende, Charles Inoje. Venue, Golden Tulip, Amodofin, Festive Town, Lagos.
Date 22nd May 2016. Time 5 p.m. Blue carpet 4 p.m. Ticket regular 2,000 naira, VIP 5,000 naira, table for 5 50,000 naira.
For ticket bookings and inquiries, please call 0826-237-2051 or 0829-187-1640. Powered by Gospel Life Entertainment. 100% clean joke.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man that you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like that, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few, I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? My brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do. How we tell you. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back to Business Stories. Nigeria's overnight interbank rate rose marginally on Friday to an average of 9%, up from 8.5% at last week's close. This was due to lower banking system liquidity and expectations of a possible hike in the benchmark interest rate next week. Nigeria's rate-setting monetary policy committee is scheduled to meet on Tuesday to take a decision on benchmark interest rates. A decision on other financial tools to curb accelerating inflation in Nigeria will be discussed at the meeting. Annual inflation in Nigeria quickened to a near 6-year high of 13.7% in April, up from 12.8% the previous month. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, this was in part due to rising petrol and electricity prices. Nigeria's Naira is expected to take a cue from the outcome of a rate-setting meeting by the Monetary Policy Committee scheduled to hold on Tuesday. The Naira was quoted at 3.40 to the dollar on Friday at the parallel market. The currency was weaker than 3.24 to the dollar last Thursday. However, at the official interbank, the Naira was trading around the 197 peg rate. The CBN has denied reports stating that Nigeria plans to devalue the Naira currency yet again. Oil prices rose close to 6-month highs on Friday, reaching an impressive range of $49 per barrel. Brent crude was up 45 cents at $49.26 a barrel, while U.S. crude traded at $48.59 per barrel. This came as a series of supply outages in Nigeria, Canada and Libya tightened the global oversupply picture that has gripped the oil market for more than 2 years. Debris from the missing Egypt Air flight has been found floating in the Mediterranean. Flight MS-804 was en route from Paris to Cairo with 66 passengers and crew members when it vanished early on Thursday. Egypt's army spokesman said the wreckage and passenger belongings were found about 290 kilometers away from Alexandria. In a statement, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi spoke of his utmost sadness and regret at the crash. Greek, Egyptian, French and also UK military units have been taking part in a search operation near Greece's Carpathos Island. Egypt says the plane was more likely to have been brought down by a terrorist act than a technical fault. Moving on to sports, Minister of Youth and Sports Solomon Dalong has said the Jos Federal High Court did not order Chris Giwa to take over as NFF president. He was speaking in Abuja during a meeting with members of the House of Representatives. Nigerian lawmakers had summoned the Minister of Sport and other officials of the Nigeria Football Federation in a bid to resolve the crisis rocking the glass house. A few weeks ago, a court had ordered Chris Giwa to assume office as NFF president. However, the minister has insisted that there is presently no court order nullifying the election of the current NFF board or asking Chris Giwa to take over as NFF president. Claudio Ranieri has been appointed a Grand Officer of the Italian Order of Merit, one of his home country's highest honors. A spokeswoman for the presidency confirmed this on Friday, saying the president of Italy would present the award to him. The 64-year-old guided Leicester City to their first ever English crown in an unexpected achievement this season. In recognition of his achievements, the country's Prime Minister Matteo Renzi had called for him to be given a national honor. Former world number 1 Roger Federer has pulled out of this year's French Open after failing to recover from a back injury. The 17-time major champion has been dealing with a back problem that has limited his schedule in recent weeks. He had a knee operation this year but returned to play at the Monte Carlo Masters in early April. The French Open will have the likes of Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal, world number 1 Novak Djokovic, and current champion Stan Wawrinka. Well, that's all we have on news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.